Today we got Ghen. He's a 3 mana 1/2 human advisor. Skulk whenever... Wait a minute. He's dead, so...
Reincarnation is a process of moving from one state of mind to another.
From being a dead character from a TV show nobody listens to anymore to a legendary Mardu commander that lets you pay 1 black, 1 red, and 1 white to sacrifice an enchantment to return target enchantment from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay.
And this joke would have been worthless if Glen and Ghen weren't of Asian descent, but they are, so it's a funny taru. And this is not an Asian voice, it's a Japanese voice. In fact, it's not a voice at all. It's just a racist accent.
Ever tried playing Mardu without playing angels and dragons and demons? Here's a sweet gen called Ghen. See what I did there? Sweet rhymes. That lets you use and reuse enchantments for a more active way to play control. Believe me, you'll be enchanted by this deck. Oh yes! If you've been searching for something different to build without building a mono blue goblin life gain deck, well, here it is. First off, we got curses because yeah, they fit like a glove in this deck. I said deck, not dick. Then we have our enchantment control cards because yes, this is a control deck. What, a control deck without blue? What the? But Cyclonic Rift, boy. What's my Cyclonic Rift? Yeah, it is. Shut up and listen. And to finish off, our card advantage and enchantment. Shenanigans, come on. Before we dive into our Walking Dead reincarnation, this video is sponsored by Collect Edition. They got a big commander inventory and worldwide shipping. Check them out with the link in the description. And congratulations to Jerry from Quebec on winning the 3 Commander Legends booster packs. Hope you got some juice in there, bro. And don't forget to subscribe to my Twitter and Patreon to help the channel out and get some sweet exclusivities as well. Link in the description. First off, curses for your purses. Let's start with La Creme de la Creme, the bagel of all bagels, Captive Audience. Captive Audience enters the battlefield under the control of an opponent of your choice. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Your life total becomes 4. Discard your hand. Each opponent creates 5 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Man. I adore this card, but never saw any fit in any builds. Well, here it is. Bring this back over and over again. Boy, let me tell you something. You'll be the one that's captive. What's overwhelming besides my big deck? My Splendor. Overwhelming Splendor. It's an 8 mana aura curse. Creatures enchant player controls lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 1/1. Enchant player can't activate abilities that aren't mana abilities or loyalty abilities. Another bonkers card that can scare off any opponent trying to attack you. Plus the art is just tastic. The thing is that this deck lacks defense, so using politics to protect yourself is super easy to do. Oh, you want to attack me? I got a couple of curses coming your way then, you jabronis.
I'll snatch the life right out of you, understand?
Cruel Reality. It's a 7 mana curse. At the beginning of a Chen player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker. If that player can't, he or she loses 5 life.
You motherfucker, you!
7 is a bit much for such a low impact card on the board, but we got ways to cheat it out. Plus, big spells is what we're all about. The bigger, the better. Curse of Fool's Wisdom is for that player drawing cards like a madman with Consecrated Sphinx. Whenever an enchant player draws a card, they lose 2 life and you gain 2 life. Please go ahead and wheel, you broken child. Curse of Death's Hold is for that player playing a billion tokens. Hey bro, calm down.
It might be dangerous.
5 mana Aura Curse. Creatures enchanted player controls get -1/-1. Get the fudge out of here with your tokens. Curse of Exhaustion is for that combo player sucking his own dick at the end of the table.
Wait, let me explain something to you.
It's a 4 mana curse. Enchant player can cast more than 1 spell each turn. Get the fudge out of here, you extra hot sauce on your pizza combo player. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck! And well, I said we had low defense in this deck, so here's something that's gonna make your opponents attack somewhere else. Curse of Stalk Prey. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to a enchanted player, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Dude, you should attack him! He said your cat was gay!
Don't fuck me, Tony.
Here's another politic card, Torment of Scarab. It's a 4 mana curse. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, that player loses 3 life unless he or she sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. You can literally just show this card from your hand and make threats with it. Go ahead, scare people before you even play it. I double dare you.
Get this through your head, you motherfucker, you!
Curse of Misfortunes. Oh boy. It's a 5-mana black curse. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may search your library for a curse card that doesn't have the same name as a curse attached to a chanted player. Put it onto the battlefield attached to that player, then shuffle your library. This one is scary. Someone's on your dick since the beginning of the game. Throw this on the board and I promise they're gonna have a change of heart.
You stay out of my way, there'll be no problem.
This one is super cool. Curse of Vengeance. That's a cool metal name. It's a 1-mana black enchantment. Whenever an enchant player casts a spell, put a spite counter on Curse of Vengeance. A spite counter? When an enchant player loses the game, okay, you gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number the spite counters on Curse of Vengeance. Huh? What? Pretty sweet card if you can pull it off with a couple of counters on it. Plus, if this is in your graveyard, you can pull it out at instant speed with your commander. You know, kind of sneaky, you know what I mean? And finally, Curse of Shallow Graves and Curse of Disturbance. Whenever enchant player is attacked, they create a 2/2 black zombie and you create a 2/2 black zombie. A couple of more defensive cards that make your opponent attack each other, plus gives you bodies to defend.
Fucking A.
Now for some control cards, because this is a control deck. Demonic Pact is one we don't see often.
What is this?
It's a 4-mana black enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Demonic Pact deals 4 damage to target creature or player and you gain 4 life. Okay. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Okay. Draw 2 cards. Okay. You lose the game. Huh? What the fuck? So you can use this to lose the game instead of scooping if you get too salty in a game, which is pretty nice, you know. And Monarch, Court of Ire, Ambition, and Grace. Here's the thing with Monarch and Ghen. If we have one of the courts in play and another in our graveyard, well, we get to draw a card at our end step, then someone is probably gonna attack us for the Monarch, and that's fine. That's fine. Let your opponents dish it out for the Monarch, but before your next turn begins, just sack your court to bring another one back, letting you get the full ability of the courts guaranteed each turn. Then just rotate over and over again, and over and over and over again. Next up, a couple of Sagas, because Sagas are cool, and cool is what we aim to be. Don't matter if we win in this deck as long as we are cool. Why? Who's the eldest? Nicol Bolas. And what is he? Reborn. The Eldest Reborn is super versatile in this deck. You can keep it on the board and use the first 2 abilities and then potentially sacking it again to bring something else back before you sack it.
That's pretty good.
Oh boy, this is the sauce. This one's a beast in this deck. Phyrexian Scriptures. 4 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. That creature becomes an artifact in addition to its other types. Then destroy all non-artifact creature. Huh? And then exile all cards from all opponents' graveyard. You can bring this back over and over again, clearing the board over and over again if you get in too much trouble.
Let me tell you something, Pandeo.
Yeah, it's kinda salty, but I like my ice cream extra salty anyways. Next up, what's foretold? Doom. Doom Foretold. Probably know this from Standard. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-land, non-token permanent. If that player can't, they discard a card, they lose 2 life, you draw a card, you gain 2 life, you create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance, then you sacrifice Doom Foretold. Another great one that's pretty awesome over and over again. Ooh, does a bit of everything. Now I ain't the government, okay? But we need a little bit of taxes in here. Aura of Silence. 3 mana, artifacts and enchantment spells your opponent casts. Cost 2 more to cast. Sacrifice Aura of Silence, destroy target artifact or enchantment. So pretty versatile, you can sack it again or keep it on the board if need be. Whatever you want. Next up, try and guess. His Shroud is Veiled. Athreos. He's a 6 mana 4/7 indestructible god, enchantment, or whatever. As long as your devotion to white is black, blah blah blah. At the beginning of your end step, put a coin counter on another target creature. Whenever a creature with a coin counter on it dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
And the little wombo with Athreos that's nice with Ghen is Oblivion Ring. Put a counter on a creature with Athreos, exile it and gain control of it with Oblivion Ring, then sack Oblivion Ring to Ghen and rinse and repeat. Haha, take that, Cyclonic Rift! Okay, it's nothing like Rift, but you know, it's pretty cool. Next up, a bit of removal on a stick. Doomwake Giant. He's a 5 mana 4/6 enchantment creature giant. Constellation. Whenever Doomwake Giant or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, creatures your opponent control get -1/-1 until end of turn.
You hear me talking, hillbilly boy?
Really nice for protection. Yes, yes. Animate Dead is awesome, not only for the reanimate part, but it also acts as removal. Sack the Animate Dead whenever you want to destroy the creature and bring something back later. Mardu, more like value, am I right?
I collect your fucking head.
Elspeth Conquers Death, another one that you can sack before the third counter hits to recur something else in case you don't really need the third ability. And, well, of course, Aruna's Ultimatum. I know, it's not an enchantment, I know, but you know, it destroys each non-land permanence your opponent controls, so, you know, it's just, you gotta play it, because, you know, it's just always like, you know, all your permanents that you know, it's just the one that you don't control, it's like, it's really good, you know?
You're in big trouble though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
And to finish off our card advantage and enchantment,
Shenanigans, the chamon.
Liliana's Contract, 5 mana. When Liliana's Contract enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and you lose 4 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. Let's face it, we're not playing it for the second ability, and we got no demons in this deck. Treacherous Blessing, 3 mana. When Treacherous Blessing enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. The rest is irrelevant. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose 1 life, but hey, we'll sacrifice it before we lose life, okay? Demonic Lore, 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. At the beginning of your end step, you lose 2 life for each card in your hand.
That's a lot of damage.
So this one, you don't really want it to stick on the battlefield. Sack it the second it hits the battlefield to make sure you don't lose any life. Thrill of Possibilities, Cathartic Reunion, and Faithless Looting. Draws and discards. Why? We got a couple of big enchantments in this deck, so cheating them out with Ghen is always nice because I love cheating. Who doesn't love cheating? It's the best. Can't have an enchantment deck without Mesa Enchantress, you know, Black Lives Matter, draw a card whenever you cast an enchantment card, okay? And Starfield Mystic, 2 mana, 2/2, enchantment spells you cost 1 less to cast. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Starfield Mystic. So every time you activate Gen's ability, plus, you know, White Lives Matter too. Gravebreaker Lamia, 5 mana 4/4 lifelink. Whenever Gravebreaker Lamia enters the battlefield, search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 1 less to cast, but that's irrelevant. Plus, you know, super synergistical, plus, you know, Snake Lives Matter as well. And now Seed of Life's Bounty, 1 mana 1/1, enchantment creature Nymph. Lifelink, pay 1, sacrifice it. Target creature or enchantment you control gain protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Super versatile. If you can keep this on the battlefield, you'll be protected. You know, it's cool, cheap, and can protect anything. Plus, Nymph. I've never been a fan of the land go control strategy, especially in this day and age where there's just so much going on the board. It's hard to control everything. So I rather play stuff that gives you stuff. We play a Johnny's Chosen, creates a 2/2 cat token each time an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control. So we're just putting stuff on the board, can be aggressive or defensive depending on the situation, plus cats meow. Same thing for this bad boy, even better. He's a 3/4 flying lifelink Archon, plus shits out a 2/2 flying lifelink Pegasus each time an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control. So pretty sweet. I don't know why an Archon would shit out Pegasus, you know, whatever. Why isn't it a Pegasus in the first place? Why doesn't he shit out Archons? Who knows? You know, this is the universe of wizards. You already know Sigil of the Empty Throne. You get a 4/4 flying angel when you cast an enchantment. A token for days. Let me sit on that throne, bitch. And this card, yummy. I didn't know this before I made this deck. Necromancer's Covenant. It's a 6 mana enchantment. When Necromancer's Covenant enters the battlefield, exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. Then put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield for each card exiled this way. Zombies you control have lifelink. Really sweet card that cleans up your opponent's graveyard, plus fills your board with zombies. Easily recurable as well. Next up, Arden Intrepid Archaeologist. Okay, he's a 3 mana 2/2 core scout. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipment you control to target permanent or player. I hope you get the jizz. So what can we do with this? Move our curses to other players. You guessed it, that's right, somebody's being a dick, just drop this dude and start making threats. Academy Rector, because Academy Rector. Always nice to have, especially with a sack outlet, but amazing on her own as well. I dare you to attack me, you jabroni. Replenish brings back all your enchantments from your graveyard to the battlefield, late game win con or early game value. That's up to you. And to finish off, Starfield of Nyx, my favorite card in this deck. It's a 5 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, just this ability alone is worth playing, but wait, there's more. As long as you control 5 or more enchantments, each other non-aura enchantment you control is a creature in addition to its other types and has base power and toughness, each equal to its converted mana cost. We can do a lot of sweet stuff with this, acts as a win con as well. If we have 5 enchantments on the battlefield and they're all creatures because of Starfield and someone wipes the board, you can sack one of them with Ghen so all your creature enchantments return to being enchantments only, protecting your board. Then you just bring that enchantment back at the beginning of your upkeep and boom, everything becomes a creature again. Really sweet card with a lot of flavor and history behind it. That's all for today, folks. Like and subscribe to help the channel, and don't forget, we're here for a silly goose time, and that's it. Thanks for watching.